Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think we were discussing about the cyclic structure of glucose and how that cyclic structure is a form how we are getting the two possible structure of that cyclic structure of that glucose. One is a alpha form and another one is a beta form. How do we recognize whether it is a alpha D glucose or beta D glucose depending upon the hydroxy group which is present at anomeric carbon atom. When it is on the alpha side, then it is termed as alpha D glucopyranose. When it is present on the beta side means above the plane and alpha side means hydroxy group are below the plane at anomeric carbon atom. And as we know that anomer means what? The optical isomer which are differ in the configuration only at one carbon atom, specifically at anomeric carbon atom, C1 carbon atom, and that type of the diastereomers are known as anomers of each other. So now what we are going to discuss today is this one. Look at here, representation of ring structure means Haworth formulae. Whatever we have learned so far, the carbohydrate chemistry, by considering the Fischer projection formula, now onward, whenever there is a cyclic form is considered for glucose or carbohydrate, then and then, now onward, we are going to take into consideration the Haworth formulae. Haworth formulae, how Haworth formulae is better than the Fischer projection formulae, how these cyclic form of glucose exhibit all type of the reaction which we have learned by considering the Fischer projection formula. So now onward we are going to learn or discuss the basic or the fundamental differences while studying the cyclic structure of the glucose and how to convert Fischer projection formulae into the Haworth formulae that we are going to discuss from now onward. So let us begin. That is, the heading is given here, representation of ring structure. How we can represent, how we can draw, or how we can show the correct structure, correct ring structure of glucose or its analog that we are discussing. So let's begin, let's start the Haworth formulae. Now it is more convenient to represent the ring structure of D-glucose in Haworth projection formulae. Let me tell you once again how this Haworth formulae is better than the Fischer projection formulae. As time passes, we will come to know that how it is better than the Fischer projection formula. So it is the more convenient. It is means what? Haworth formulae or the Haworth ring structure. It is more convenient to represent the ring structure of D-glucose in Haworth projection formulae. The English chemist W.H. Haworth proposed that the first 5 carbon atom of the aldohexoses and oxygen atom of the ring might better be represented as a hexagonal ring in the plane perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So that is the description about that Haworth projection formulae. The English chemist W.H. Haworth proposed that the first 5 carbon atom of the aldohexoses and oxygen atom of the ring might better be represented as a hexagonal ring in the plane perpendicular to the plane of the paper. And now here you listen carefully, 2 points. See here, first point. Now I am going to tell you that always keep in mind from the Fischer projection formula. You know that the Fischer projection formula, while studying as a carbohydrate chemistry, we generally consider as a Fischer projection formula. So from the Fischer projection formula, the group lying on the left, lying on the left, taken above, and the group lying on the right are taken below the horizontal ring. So that point you can remember here from the Fischer projection formula. The group lying on the left hand side taken above, and the group lying on the right hand side are taken below the horizontal ring. So that is the main important point you should keep in mind. Now is the point number 2. The side of the hexagon. Hexagon, you know that in the 6 corner all are the identical and the 6 atoms are present and the ring are formed. That type of the structure are known as hexagon. The side of the hexagon that is closer to the observer. Observer means who the person who is the person looking to that molecule is known as an observer. The side of the hexagon that is closer to the observer is shown by a thicker line, means at a thick line. Let us begin how to represent Haworth formula of D-glucose, and first of all alpha D glucopyranose. First one is a alpha D glucopyranose, as we know that pyranose, alpha D glucose pyranose. How to represent that alpha D glucopyranose? First, as we know that here suppose we have this carbon atom, one hydrogen atom, here hydrogen, and then now I am representing that 6 carbon atom, this carbon number 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. At the 6 CH2OH we can write over here, and rest of here. Now when the ring is formed, the additional chiral center is generated over there. So you can show roughly this type of the ring over here. And now here at carbon number 2, here hydrogen atom on the left hand side, hydroxy group on the right hand side. In the second, hydrogen on the right hand side, hydroxy group on the left hand side, and then here hydroxy group on right hand side and the hydrogen atom are on the left hand side. This is the representation of that alpha D glucose according to the, what we can call it as according to the Fischer, according to Fischer projection formula, this one. And now we are going to convert this into the what we can call it as a Haworth projection formula, or this we can represent, or we can show this group in a, these 3 line indicate that the equivalent, and this structure also we can draw like this. Here hydroxy group as it is, hydrogen atom, then here carbon, another carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 carbon atom. At these 6 carbon atom we can write here this one CH2 OH, and rest of that carbon atom here. Look at this hydroxy group on the right hand side, hydrogen on the left hand side. At this carbon, hydrogen on the right hand side, whereas hydroxyl group on the left hand side. Here the hydroxy group again on the right hand side and hydrogen atom on the left hand side. Here we can show one hydrogen atom over on the right hand side, whereas the bulkier group CH2OH on the left hand side, and then this ring formation is shown like this. So this is what we did, only rearranges this compound suitably by according to the, in accordance with the Fischer projection formula. Now just now we have seen 2 points how to represent that this Fischer projection formula into as a Haworth projection formula. That is a pyranose ring, means 6 membered ring. We can draw like this. This is a 6 membered ring. This is a anomeric carbon atom where the hydroxy group, look at here, which is present on the right hand side. Remember those groups which are present on the right hand side, you must write, though here look at on the right hand side, you write it on the below the plane, and here maybe as a hydrogen atom, no need to show it, but here again this hydroxy group carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and this 6. Okay, carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 and rest of the 6 over there. Now look at here at carbon number 1, this is a chiral center, additional chiral center, or we can call it as anomeric carbon atom. At carbon number 2, hydroxy group are on the right hand side, so you should mention it below the plane. Now look at carbon number 3, hydroxy are lying on the left hand side. You must show that hydroxy is above the plane. Look at as a carbon number 4, hydroxy again on a right hand side, so you must show below the plane. And now look at this hydrogen atom on the right hand side, but CH2OH on the above the plane, so you can write CH2OH this way or you can write this way. So this is the this side below the plane, this side is known as a beta alpha side, and therefore this carbon number 1 is known as a anomeric carbon atom. This is a anomeric carbon atom or anomers. This alpha, the name of this compound is a alpha because hydroxy group is below the plane, and therefore alpha D glucopyranose. This is the correct representation. According to this representation, according to as a Haworth formula HF, and this is according to as a Fisher formula or Fisher projection formula FF. So that or that this you can write as a that is this Fisher projection formula we have shown according to as a Haworth projection formula, and this is a representation of the ring structure of D-glucose according to as a Haworth projection formula. Understood this one? Now let us see the second structure. The name of that second structure will be, let me clean the board first here. Now here the second one will be this one. Now I am making correction over here. Second one, this will be the beta D glucopyranose. Everything is the same here. Remember again as a 6 carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this 6 CH2OH. Now here the hydroxy group on a left hand side, hydrogen atom over there, and ring is formed here like this. This ring formation takes place over here. Carbon number 1, here 2, 3, 4 and 5, and this will be the 6. Now at carbon number 2, the hydroxy group again remains on right hand side. Left hand side is the hydrogen atom. At carbon number 3, hydrogen atom on the right hand side, whereas hydroxyl group on the left hand side. At carbon number 4, hydroxy group on the right hand side, whereas hydrogen atom are on the left hand side. So this is the representation and of this beta side. So instead, for sake of convenience or for more convenient way, we can represent this 6 carbon atoms, 5 carbon atom here, and here we can write this CH2HO, 1 hydrogen atom. Here at carbon number 1, here as it is, then we can write this structure like this. Now this other thing remains as it is. At carbon number 2, hydroxy group are on the right hand side. At carbon number 3, hydroxy group lying on the left hand side. At carbon number 4, hydroxy group lying on the right hand side, and the hydrogen atom lying on the left hand side. So, this is the representation of beta D glucose according to Fischer projection formula, and that we are going to convert into. So, what is the point? Those hydroxy group, this is the anomeric carbon atom, carbon number 1. There is an additional chiral center is generated here. So, total chiral center in this molecule, ring formation of the glucose, it has 5 chiral center, and when the 5 chiral centers are there and there are 2 raised to n is equal to 2 raised to 5, it means equal to 32 optical isomers, and out of that 32, 16 optical isomers are pair of enantiomers. And now this according to as a Haworth projection formula, we can show the structure like this. So, here hydroxy group which is lying on the left hand side, so we can show above the plane. At carbon number 2, it is lying on the right hand side, we can show below the plane. At carbon number 3, again hydroxy group on the hydroxy group lying on the left hand side, so it is above the plane. Here hydroxy group lying on a right hand side, so it should be below the plane. Now here this one, this CH2 and hydroxy group you can show like this. So this is the structure, this is the ring structure of alpha, not alpha, because this side, above side is a beta side, and therefore it is designated as beta D glucopyranose, This is the structure of beta D glucopyranose. Understood this one, how to represent this alpha D and beta, alpha and beta form of D glucose, and they are the anomers of each other. Anomer, it is one of the important term frequently we are using in while studying as a carbohydrate. Most of the students get confused between as the epimers and the anomers, one and the same thing, but epimers are for term use for open chain, whereas anomers are used the term for the cyclic, and cyclic structure of alpha and beta form of D glucose are anomers of each other because they differ in the configuration. At anomeric carbon atom means one, suppose as alpha having as a alpha carbon atom, if it is having as R configuration, beta should have a, must have a S configuration. So that type of the optical isomers are known as anomers. So that is the thing we have learned. Now is the chair conformation of D-glucopyranose. Now the third point we are going to discuss over here. Let us see here the third structure of cyclic structure. Generally the cyclic structures are present in the chair form. Most stable conformation of that cyclic compounds are chair form, and therefore let us see third one, that is a chair conformation of D-glucopyranose. Chair conformation of D-glucopyranose. D-glucopyranose, that is a structure we are going to see. Chair conformation of D-gluco. Conformation means what? Just by rotating the carbon-carbon single bond. In case of the chair cyclic form, there is a flipping is a process. Have you heard this word before, right? Flipping is a process where axial bond becomes as a equatorial and equatorial bond becomes as a axial. That process is known as a flipping. Means at an equilibrium at room temperature, one chair conformation is converted into as another chair conformation. That process is known as a flipping process. During that process, axial bond becomes as a equatorial and equatorial bond becomes as a axial. So, do you remember what do you mean by the axial bonds and what do you mean by the equatorial bond? Axial bond is nothing but they are perpendicular to the plane of the paper or plane of that plane of the paper, you can remember. And equatorial bond means what? They are parallel to the adjacent bond, so that are projecting away, just like as a railway rules are there, so they are going parallelly, they never meet to each other. So that type of the bond are known as the equatorial bonds, though. So they never meet to each other in any cause. So that type of the, now let us see chair conformation of the D-glucopyranose. Chair conformation, as we know that chair conformation we can draw like this. Here is the oxygen atom involved in the ring formation, 5 are the carbon atom and 1 is the oxygen atom involved in the ring formation. This is the carbon number 1 anomeric carbon atom, where when that hydroxy group are below the plane which is present at alpha side, we see this bond is present at axial position. This is axial, and now rest of the hydroxy group which are projecting or they are present at equatorial position, because equatorial positions conformation are more stable than the axial position. So this is the representation of chair conformation of the D-glucose. This is the alpha D-glucopyranose. Understood this one? Alpha D-glucopyranose. Why alpha? Because that hydroxy group at anomeric carbon atom, it is present below the plane, and therefore it is known as alpha D-glucopyranose. Now we can draw another structure here, this chair conformation of this one. Now the hydroxy group I am writing at equatorial position. This is above the plane, this is the beta side, and other bond remains as it is. Hydroxy group all are at equatorial position like this, and here we are getting all are the equatorial form. Now this structure is known as beta D glucopyranose. This is the structure of beta D glucopyranose, where hydroxy group which is present at beta position, and as you know that the equatorial the chair conformation, whatever bulkier groups are there, they are preferred to stay at equatorial position, because equatorial conformations are more stable than the axial, because in an axial there are 1,3 diaxial interaction is present, and due to the 1,3 diaxial interaction there are a lot of steric interactions are there. Once the steric interaction present, it increase the internal energy. Once the internal energy increases, as we know that there is a general guideline or a general rule, whenever the internal energy or potential energy increases, the stability of that particular conformation is decreases, and therefore here look at here beta D glucopyranose, all the bulkier group, hydroxy group as well as CH2OH group, all are present at equatorial position, and therefore beta D glucopyranose, whether among these two, if you compare the stability of whether the alpha form is more stable or beta form is more stable, right now we, on the basis of equatorial position, we can say here that on the basis of our previous knowledge, those group, bulkier group which are at equatorial position, that conformation is more stable. But in this case, because in every case, in every rule there is exceptions are there, and therefore what is that exception? Why alpha form, or because right now we don't know which conformation is more stable. By our previous knowledge we can say that this beta form is more stable than the alpha form, but remember that is not the case here. We are going to consider all the other factors, and then we can make a correct statement regarding these two compound, whether that alpha D glucopyranose is a more stable or beta D glucopyranose is a more stable. So here all OH group are equatorial in this case. All OH groups are equatorial. That's the point, highlighted point here you should remember. So this is all about the, what we can call it as a Haworth formulae. We have shown the structure according to, we have represent the structure according to Haworth, how we have converted Fisher projection formula into Haworth projection formula, and various possibility we have seen. So now move on to the next point. The next point we are going to discuss over here, structure of the D-fructose. Whatever we have seen all about the structure of the D-glucose we have learned. Now we are going to discuss the structures, ring structures of fructose, ring structures of D-fructose, how to represent that structures according to how we can convert those structure which are present in Fisher projection formula, and we are going to convert it into Haworth projection formula. Let us see over here the structure of D-fructose. Structures of D-fructose. Structures of D-fructose. Structures of D-fructose. Structures of D-fructose. Here, in the free state, D-fructose has pyranose ring. Remember here, in the free state, D-fructose has pyranose ring structure, and in combined state, as in sucrose, it has furanose ring structures. So, let us begin with first one, pyranose structure. First one is a pyranose structure. Pyranose structure. Pyranose structure, right? Now, in the pyranose structure, the first one is a Fischer projection. First of all, Fischer projection. Fischer projection. Now, according to that Fischer projection, let me draw here this one CH2OH, then this is a carbon atom where we can first of all let us see here some equilibrium. The first one is a D-fructose open chain we are going to draw here, CH2OH, then at second position carboxy group is there. In next case, the hydroxy group which are present on the left hand side, another one right hand side, then here carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, here 5 again on the right hand side, and here left hand side other one is a CH2 and OH. This is the structure of D-fructose. This is the structure of D-fructose, and that is a open chain. That is a open chain D-fructose. It will be the open chain structure at an equilibrium. How do you get this ring formation here? On one possibility, hydroxy group goes on this side, then another carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here 6 carbon atom we can draw over here, CH2, then O we can write here, 6 membered ring are formed, and then there will be this one from the bottom, hydroxy group on the right hand side, and here hydroxy group are on the left hand side. This is the beta D. This hydroxy group are on the left hand side, means above the plane, and therefore it is represented as, or it is designated as beta D glucopyranose fructopyranose. That is a beta D fructopyranose. This is the name of this compound, beta D fructopyranose. Whereas here you can write this, we will get here CH2OH, and at this carbon atom there hydroxy group, again one more carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this CH2 and O you can write over there, and other way around this is a chiral center. As we know that additional chiral center is generated when the ring form is formed over there. And now here hydroxy group lying on the left hand side, here hydroxy group on the right hand side, here also on the right hand side, remains as it is here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that 3 carbon atoms are present over there. This is known as alpha D fructopyranose. This one is called as alpha D fructopyranose. This is the structure of alpha D fructopyranose. So in this way we have got, this is the structure according to as a Fischer projection formula. Now let us convert this structure into the Haworth projection. This structure into the Haworth projection. Let's see over here how we can convert this structure into the Haworth projection. Now is a Haworth projection. Haworth projection. Haworth projection, how we will consider the this one into as a Haworth projection, alpha D glucopyranose. Just now we have seen over here, sorry, alpha D fructopyranose. This we can know 6 membered ring. This is a ring which we can, alpha side means that hydroxy group which is lying on the right hand side. So we can show here, this is the alpha side. Look at this carbon atom, it is above the plane, here it is below the plane, here also is below the plane, and this is the, here we can write here CH2OH, here remains as a CH2, that is carbon number. Suppose you start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is the structure of alpha D fructopyranose, alpha D fructopyranose. This is the structure of, according to as a Fischer projection formula. Let us draw the structure of beta D fructopyranose according to the Haworth projection formula. Again let us see this structure. So we can write like this. Now is the reverse of this. Here you can write as a this one OH above the side, beta side, and then CH2OH. Remaining here it remains, sorry, yes, OH which is lying here, and now both are hydroxy group below the plane and there is no. So this is the structure of, this is the representation of. Now let me show here. Both are. So now let me clarify over here. Hydroxy group beta D, alpha D fructopyranose. Alpha means here, this is the structure here written here, CH2 below the hydroxy group which is present on here below, and this one is above. Now this one is above, this one is a carbon number, suppose as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. At carbon number 2, hydroxy are below, above. At 3, above, below and below. 5 also as a below. And here the same thing is there. So this is the structure of beta D fructopyranose. fructopyranose. Pyranose. This is the structure of beta D glucose fructopyranose, that is above the plane, below, left hand side above, and both are below the plane. So these are the representation of this. Now is a furanose structure. Third one, let us draw the another structure according to as a Fisher projection formula. So let's see over here how we can draw the structures, that is furanose structure, Fisher projection. Third one is a furanose structure. Let us see over here furanose structure. Furanose structure. Furanose structure. Furanose structure. First one is a Fisher projection. First one will be the Fisher projection. First one is the Fisher projection. According to as a Fisher projection, first of all let us see the structure of fructose CH2OH at two position, this one, then 1, 2 and 3. Here hydroxy group, or on the left hand side HOH, then OH, hydrogen atom, and rest of this is a CH2OH. This carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These are the carbon number 6. This is a D-fructose open chain. This one is a D-fructose. This is a open chain structure, right? This will be the open chain structure. Now at an equilibrium, it is going to form the ring. When it forms the ring, it looks like this one. Here CH2OH remains as it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last